How's it going? Mavimbela here. This channel we speak entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs mindset, as you already know. And in today's video, I specifically want to talk about the fact that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and also talk about why entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So a lot of people do want to start their businesses, including you. Most of the people that watch my videos that are viewers of this channel are entrepreneurs at heart, or they already have started something that they are pushing. And being an entrepreneur is probably one of the most difficult career paths that you can take. And obviously, since I have a computer, I've written everything down so I can, share all my thoughts and expand on some of the points that I have written on the computer. So don't mind me when I look to the screen. That's what I'm doing. All right. So the first point about why entrepreneurship is not for everyone is the fact that you will work hard for many years, and sometimes you may not see any results. And by saying you may not see any results, I mean exactly that. You may hustle for 10, 15 years and you don't see any results, meaning the results that you see in your head, whatever they may be. You may be or probably able to pay some of your bills, like the immediate needs and the immediate bills. You probably are willing, or you are probably able to pay for those bills. For example, let's say myself, I pay rent for my studio, I pay rent where I stay, and also I've got other bills that I have to pay, and then I'm trying to grow my finances in order to be able to cover all these bills comfortably. I may get to the point where I do that, right? And once I get to that point, never see any growth beyond that. That's what I mean, that you may not see results. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will not see results 100%. It just means that you may be able to just get by. And with you being able to just get by, you have to understand that that is okay. Because you see, with entrepreneurs, what tends to happen is that we are, in most cases, inspired or motivated by someone that we look up to, and these people are doing really great things. They are very, very successful financially. They are running businesses that have multiple employees. They're making multiple millions a year. But you find yourself in your business, you are making money, but the money, let me take my hoodie off, man. You find yourself that in your business you are making money, but the money that you are making is just enough to take care of you and your family and immediate family, and nothing further beyond that. And you might find yourself being unable to afford to do a lot of things that you thought you may be able to do once you are an entrepreneur. But what you have to understand is that as an entrepreneur or as a self-employed person, let's look at that. If you are an entrepreneur or self-employed person, what you are trying to do is actually give yourself a salary. And if you were to work for another company, and let's say that company pays you 20,000 rands a month, and your business only makes you 20,000 rands a month, then your life is not that significantly different to yourself had you been somebody who's an employee in another company that pays you 20,000 rand. You see what I'm saying with that? Like, what I want you to understand, that it is okay actually for you to make that 20,000 rands, or that 7,000 rand, and in the area that you live in, earning, let's say you live in an area that earning 5,000 rands means you live a comfortable life in comparison to most of the people in your area. And you have started your business, it makes you 5,000 rands every single month. Then again, even if it is a business and it's not a job, you are living quite comfortably. So it also depends on where you may be living. If you are living in an area that requires you to make 30,000 rands or more, and you can do that with your business, then your business is successful. The only time that you could say exactly what I say, that you may work hard for many years and not see results, the only time that really is true is if the results that you are looking for is to go from 50,000 rands to 300,000 rands a month. And that may not happen, and it's okay as long as you are living comfortably, you are able to pay your bills. I think we have this problem of, and I say it's a problem because it does lead to a lot of issues mentally and emotionally for many people. And I include myself in that many people because I have done this quite a lot. And in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I have also been having these kinds of thoughts, right? We look up to people that are doing way, way better than us. Whether we compare ourselves or not, we are motivated by those people, and we want to get to their level or somewhat halfway their level. And when you find yourself struggling to get to that level, or you just not getting to that level, you punish yourself mentally and emotionally, like, I'm incapable, I must be stupid. I must be doing something wrong. I must have bad luck. What, do I not deserve to be also wealthy in my business? These types of questions, these types of thinking will lead you you'll go down a rat, man. You'll go down a rabbit hole, or you go down a deep dark hole. And getting out of that deep dark hole will be very difficult. And unfortunately, the only thing that really puts you in that deep dark hole, if your business is doing well enough for you to pay your bills and live somewhat comfortably, the only thing that will put you in that deep dark hole is your thinking, is your own thoughts. And I say this because I know this from experience. I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm talking about something that I have experienced as well. Because outside of being a business person, outside of being an entrepreneur, I am a human being and I experience the human emotions just like everyone else. It's just the way that I deal with them may be different to yours. But at the end of the day, we all do have these kinds of emotions and we do have to find ways to deal with them. But I think the first thing to consider is that it's okay wherever your business is, whatever the success of your business is, as long as you are living comfortably or somewhat comfortably, because you don't have to live 100% comfortably, but if you can afford to live, you're doing okay. There's somebody out there who looks at you and your business and they are actually inspired by you. While you are looking at that person that makes millions a month, somebody's looking at you and they're thinking, I just want to make 500 Rand a month while you are making 6,000 Rand. So you see, success is very relative. It depends on the person. It depends on where you are. The other point is that once you get to success, when you succeed, and this is now we are talking 300,000 Rands or more, which obviously I have not reached that point, right? But once you get to that point, the road that you have traveled from the time before you were not making this money to the time that now you are making this money and you are seeing more and more growth, the road that you had to travel to get to that point would have been very unpleasant. And with that road being very unpleasant, you have to understand again, I'm going to repeat, it's fine. It is okay. Okay? It is okay for you to expect to go through such an unpleasant road. Okay? That's how it is. See, sometimes I think back when I started out hustling and making 100 Rand in a day, in a single day, was a major, major achievement. It was a major, major achievement for me because I knew that since I made 100 Rand today, I'm able to buy bread, I'm able to buy a can of fish maybe, or something else where I'll be able to eat in the day, right? There was a major thing. But nowadays, if I make only 100 Rand in a day, it makes no difference. It makes no difference in my life. It's as though I really didn't do anything in that day. You know, when I make 0 in a day or when I make 100 Rand in a day, it makes almost no difference, really. You understand? So it is also relative. So in the time where 100 Rand used to be a lot of money for me, it is no longer a lot of money for me now. But there has been progression over the years and there will be more progression over the years. And the little that I make every single month, every single day, that's what I'm supposed to be making. Maybe through my experience and the knowledge of running a business or a small business, that's what I'm capable of doing at that moment. And what I was capable of doing 5 years ago compared to now, the 5 years ago me really didn't know shit compared to the me now. And I'm pretty sure that in the next 5 to 10 years, I'll look at the me right now that is making videos for you to watch on YouTube. That guy will look at me and say, that guy didn't know that much. You know what I mean? And that is also fine, all right? And you have to be okay with the discomfort of going through the journey. And you see, it is very difficult going through this journey, hence many people have the fear of actually getting into it. Sometimes the fear of being an entrepreneur is not the fear of what if I fail. Some people know that they may not fail, but they are actually afraid of the discomfort that they will experience because whomever they look up to, whomever's books that they have read, they see the stories as inspirational as the stories may be. There's a lot of struggle written in that book. There's a lot of struggle this person is talking about in their videos. So a lot of people are afraid of that. Of course, they're also afraid of failure because failure affects you in many, many ways, right? But as you already know, what we say on this channel is if you fail in something, you did not fail. That business failed. Take the lessons from that business and apply them on to the next, right? And you just keep on growing like that, going further and further. Helicopter passing. Guys, my studio is in Soweto, so This is the second or third time you hear a helicopter in the videos. A tracker, they're looking for hijacked cars. Let's let it pass because I remember how loud it is. Okay, it's no longer that loud. Okay, cool. So now you have to be okay with the discomfort of you being in your hustle. All right, you just have to be comfortable with it. Whether you like it or not, that's how it's going to be. And if you are watching from South Africa or any other African country, employment opportunities are very low. Even when you do have the skills for employment, even when you do have the education for employment, getting employment opportunities is very difficult. Jobs are very scarce and they're getting scarcer by the day. I know people that are educated, and in order for them to get the job that they are in, they had to struggle to get rejected. They had to apply for multiple jobs, get rejected over years. And when they eventually got something, they got something that was way outside of what they studied for, because they ended up applying for everything because really we're just not getting anything. And some people who are educated that I know who think to themselves that I will never apply for anything outside of what I studied for. They stay unemployed for 5 to 10 years until eventually they do take that pride away and say, okay, I'm just going to apply for anything that requires somebody that is educated to my level. And eventually, if they are lucky, they do get a job. And that's the reality of South Africa. That's the reality of Zimbabwe, Kenya. I don't care where you are in Africa. That's the reality of your life. And even if you are in a first world country, that might also be the reality of things where you are. Okay, so you have to be okay with the discomfort of you being a hustler. And on top of all these things, remember, I do say that you are a human being and you are going to experience the human emotions. You have to find positive ways to cope, especially with your thoughts. Whether that is journaling or whether that is going to the gym, I always say, for me, it's going to the gym. And I haven't went to the gym in a month. And I can see even in my thinking, even in the things that I worry about, it's happening quite a lot now. Like, worry is something that is there in everybody's mind. There's no way that you can control it from not hitting your brain. It'll just come. You will just get a bit anxious. You will just have depressive thoughts. But when you have ways of coping that work for you, when those thoughts come, they come and you let them go very easily. And for me, using gym, I now have irrefutable proof for myself that going to gym is healthy for me mentally, because in this month of me not going to gym, from 2 weeks ago up until today, me recording this video is the 3rd of August, up until today, I was having those thoughts that were haunting me that, man, there's no growth in my life. Man, there's no progress in my life. But that is not necessarily true. There is progress, there is growth, albeit much slower than I would like. It is very, very slow, man. I think the growth that I'm experiencing in my life is slower than how a snail travels. I mean, we can use this YouTube channel as an example. I'm only on 945 subscribers right now with me recording this video, and 181 videos, and still haven't even hit that 1,000 subscribers. And I know people who have done 10 videos and they are on 20,000 subscribers. And their growth and my growth are not the same thing. So imagine if I would to compare myself to these people, compare myself, whether the content is the same or not. I'm just looking at the numbers. Imagine I was to compare myself with these people. I would go crazy, right? I probably would have given up long ago. But here I am. I don't make money on YouTube. I may have somehow met people who said, yo, man, I found you on YouTube. I liked your videos. You said you do so-and-so services. Can you do it for me? It was not directly money from YouTube. It was indirectly, but money directly from YouTube, I have not experienced that. And quite frankly, I don't even know if I will experience that, right? And I'm okay with that. Because that one or two people that do watch the content and they do get inspired by the content, that's whom I'm working for. And hopefully they get successful in their own right. And one day they're like, yo, Tsapo, now 50 rand, taking a time. You know what I mean? But if I were to compare myself to people that I know, there's some people that I know personally that are doing really, 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 and I mean really well with YouTube. They're making very comfortable living with YouTube. Okay. And their road, the road that they traveled, is different to mine. Mine has been one that is very difficult. And I've had multiple times of me wanting to give up on YouTube. If you look back through my videos, you will see sometimes there's like a month or two gap between videos. During that time, I was telling myself, nah, I'm done with YouTube. But I keep on coming back because it's also something that I love to do. It's also something that helps me cope. It's another avenue for me to cope with the thoughts, with the emotions that come with being an entrepreneur, that come with you being self-employed. And if you're not an entrepreneur at heart and you're forced to be self-employed, you have to understand that the things that I'm talking about here are things that you will experience. And you actually jumping into that self-employment thing is also not for everyone. The fact that you were able to do it or you are able to do it means that you have something special about you or something different about you in comparison to other people, because most people would rather sit than not. Most people would rather sit than to stand up and do their own thing if they're not going to get a job, if they're not going to get welfare from the government. So there's something different about you, and maybe you should appreciate yourself for that. Yeah, I'm done with this one. It's not as long as the other podcast form videos, but I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe.